Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Business Casual. I've been getting a lot of questions lately around networking and how to network during COVID, and I thought that I would do an episode focused on that. So just so we're baseline and working from the same playbook, I want to just kind of define what I believe networking is. And so networking is this ability to develop relationships with like-minded individuals. It can be on a friend level, it can be in a business level, it can actually be in a school or learning environment as well. And what you do is you share information, experience, opportunities that are relevant and mutually beneficial. So sometimes you'll get, sometimes you'll receive, but in the end, there's an exchange that's happening, and that exchange is very important. So, how do we do this in COVID-19? A lot of people say, hey, you know what, I can't get out there, I can't do things, but things haven't changed a lot. That's why I'm on location right now at a convention center, just to remind you that convention centers, hotels, things like that, were formal places where we used to network. We'd network in the office, we'd network for coffee, we'd network in the local parks and whatnot. But we found that business relationships and things like that started in convention centers and meeting areas and chambers and stuff like that. And I want to remind everybody that not a lot's changed. During this COVID-19 time, I, as a consultant, have brought in a couple new business opportunities that didn't exist before through virtual networking. I've also helped my son get a job through virtual networking, and I just dropped my youngest son off at our local mechanic because he's doing a day in the life with him. And again, that's through networking. So how did I do this? Let's talk. All right, so let's get started. First of all, I think networking in the new year is going to be easier for you alphas out there. That's like 2010 and above, or your Zs out there, 1997 plus, and even the millennials, kind of 81 to 96. The reason is because you've grown up with technology. You've grown up with chat, with online groups. You've grown up with interactive gaming and online communications, and that helps a lot when you're trying to network in today's environment. And today's environment is going to stick around for a while. So just because right now we are in kind of COVID-19 doesn't mean everything's going to go back to normal and we're all going to get up and have a big warm hug when this ends. So what we learn and explore today can certainly be beneficial both today and in the future. So what does that mean? That means that you have a technological advantage in today's market and in the future market. That means millennials and Zs, the ones that are actually in the workforce right now, have that benefit of actually understanding the business world with technology. And that makes even better networking opportunities. So what you've done essentially before COVID is develop anchor relationships. But fret not. If you're actually somebody who hasn't been in the workforce yet either, you have anchor relationships too. So let's talk about those. So I know everyone's wondering, what is an anchor relationship? And so this is our first opportunity to network. We all have anchor relationships. We just don't necessarily use them. And I get it. Not everybody's comfortable doing that. But in the world of business, in the world of actually social economic environments, we need to learn to use those resources that are available to us positively, proactively, and continually. So an anchor relationship is an established personal or business relationship that exists or can exist. And, these might be friends, these might be colleagues, these might actually be students, peer students that we went to school with. They're all anchor relationships. And I call them anchor relationships because they're pre-existing. We didn't necessarily start the relationship for the purpose of networking, but we might want to, or no, we actually definitely want to create a networking relationship with these people because it's beneficial to us. Believe it or not, many people don't ask friends, colleagues, family for networking help, right? We kind of think them as the off limits, and that's the first catch in networking that we got to fix. These anchor relationships are, in fact, where we start. They're going to introduce us to those new network components and people that are going to give us opportunities that they can't otherwise introduce us to. And so I don't mean that we want to meet up with them. It's not necessary. I also don't necessarily think that we need to push them for information. I simply mean we don't ask them to introduce us to other people, and so we never explore those relationships, and we need to figure out how to change that because we're missing the easiest means of networking, which is interpersonal relations, anchor relationships. So I push you now, say, ask, share. You may have to be the first one to introduce. If you know someone's looking for something, and say, hey, you know what? I got a colleague, I got a friend in this area. Why don't I connect you with them? And then it shows that goodwill for networking. It gets them working past. Reach out to those people that you know. Reach out to the family members. Reach out to the next door neighbor and let them know that you're looking for opportunities to network with people. Break outside of that comfort zone that you have of not involving other people. Reach out past that and tell them that you're ready to give and you're looking to get. As a matter of fact, right now in COVID, a lot of times it's actually a really good time to go for a walk in the neighborhood and start talking to people as you're going by. You don't need to spend too much time with them, but if you're 6 feet apart, you can easily have that conversation saying, hey, how's it going? You know what? I just finished school, kind of looking around, been in this area, looking for a job, looking for an opportunity. If you know anybody, hey, I'd love it if you'd let me know. It'd be great. As a matter of fact, a common thing in the old days was to keep a business card about you, and you might want to do that again. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to drop by a little bit later with my contact information. If you wouldn't mind kind of spreading the word, I would appreciate that. And let me know what I can do for you because I'm happy to help. And the greatest part is if you're out there doing the walk and whatnot, the COVID-19 you put on during the pandemic can easily begin to shed. All right, so now where do we go now that we've kind of tapped our anchor relationships? Well, we're going to start looking at networking sites. Believe it or not, there are many networking sites available for you to connect with. They are usually locally or regionally based or even based in the countries and whatnot. So I'm not going to give you a list of them at this particular point in time, but just go on to Google and type in networking site or business networking site, and it'll give you a list of places you can join up. These are things like Meetup and so forth that allow you to connect with like-minded people and share ideas, share connections, and exchange information. The great thing is they need to stay relevant during COVID-19, so they've adopted online platforms that are very advanced for us to meet through as well. This means they have networking events online with lounges and meeting rooms, socially distanced real-life events, in the more relaxed COVID times, not during those our lockdowns, and they help people stay together, stay connected, and work together. So again, we can take that anchor relationship and join with them into a networking site so we have a common group and a familiar voice when we get out there and start trying to push beyond our regular limits. So the next opportunity for networking is actually alumni. And if we think about that, that means people we went to school with. And this doesn't necessarily just mean high school, college, university. It means, yes, all of them. Anywhere you went to school, you went and got a certification, those like-minded people, those students that went with you, they are networking opportunities, right? Some of them kept going. Some of them went different directions. Some went undergrads, grad. Other people went into professional designations. Use them. Share with them. Make sure they know what you did. Make sure you work together. Your school network is an incredible resource. Much like you, they've been building their careers and building their relationships, so they know people you should know, and you know people they should know. That's networking, right? It's a win-win if you guys start working together to introduce each other. What I'm saying is reconnect with old schoolmates if you have let it go. If not, gentrify that relationship, bring it back to life, and work with school and professional association alumni to make sure that you've got the networking events and the capability to continue to connect. And you know what? While we're on the topic of school, hell, go back to school if you want to network. School, even online, is a great way to meet new people. Your professors, peer students, they're often well connected outside of the classroom. The good news is, while you're upgrading your education and your business skills, you can also upgrade your networking skills and upgrade their network while you're at it. It's easier going. It's a little bit more relaxed. You can hone in those virtual networking skills. You can do it all from the comfort of your own office chair, bedroom chair, bed, kitchen table. Doesn't matter. You can do it down by the lake if you want. And you know what? Contrary to many beliefs, local and national organizations continue to operate. They're another great place to network. Boards of trades, chamber of commerce, conference centers, clubs, chapters. They have all switched over to online formats, much like those online networking sites. They have continued performance. They've continued enrollment. They've continued to grow. And we should be taking part of that. The best is most of them have figured out online events even better than we could do ourselves. They've come up with movie nights, online wine tasting. They've come up with outdoor party events and whatnot that you can do remotely, virtually, and integrated at the same time. And these are great ways to find like-minded people and start that conversation and communication as well. And finally, do I have to mention social media? I feel I do, but I shouldn't have to because all of us are using it. I mean, I left this to the end for a reason. Most of us are using these tools every single day, and we never stop to think about networking with them, right? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and naturally LinkedIn are all tools that enable us to network, but instead we just kind of share information on them. So let's change that information sharing to make it relevant, to ask questions, to solicit feedback, and get conversations going. I mean, we socialize on them, we chat, we interact, but we don't network. Remember, the difference is we're looking for those like-minded resources, that sharing capability, that exchange of information that's valuable to both of us, not just us saying what we ate today and that we went for a great long walk. Share your accomplishments, yes, but share meaningful information from time to time too, and look for and solicit that feedback to develop networking. Matter of fact, I like to say it this way. And yes, it's time for another acronym. I'm actually really known for my acronyms, so I'll share another acronym. It's time to spread the PDA online. And I don't mean the PDA you're thinking of. Get your head out of the gutter. This is a business channel. Let's explain PDA. So P, be purposeful. Don't post a bunch of random crap and connect with everybody blindly. Have a purpose in every post and ensure those you connect with understand the purpose of the connection. Instead of, hey, we got things in common, let's connect. Be purposeful. Hey, I see you're focused on growth and innovation. I'm focused on the same thing. In fact, I'm in school right now, focusing in an innovation stream for my MBA. And I think it would be great if we got together, had some conversation and shared notes. I think I might have some great ideas for you, and we might be able to work together and make it meaningful. You might even want to say, hey, why don't we get together for a virtual coffee? A lot of times this is kind of a growing thing now where people are getting together online. They got their coffee, you got your coffee. You have a video chat and you exchange ideas. Matter of fact, I just had a couple meetings last week that were fantastic to reconnect with people and connect with new people through that virtual coffee chat. Great tool. So let's take a look at the D. The D is about being diplomatic. Let's get away from the silly posts. The brah, saw your last post and it was goat. It'd be sick if we could get together. I'll send you some bus and eats and you can give me the tea. That's not going to cut it, right? Think of how you talk to your parents' friends, to your aunts, to your uncles. Think about how you talk to your doctor or maybe even your professor or your hero. You don't talk like that, right? You say, hey, I was inspired by your last post, and I really felt the need to reach out to you. You have some great ideas, and I'd like to get a better understanding of them. Perhaps we can connect virtually. I'm happy to send you a bottle of wine, and we can have a glass of wine together and chat about what you post, what your concepts are, what my thoughts are, and see if there's an opportunity out there for us to connect each other with people we know in our network and maybe find a new business opportunity that we can work on collaboratively. Remember, social media has two faces. There's the hip, disconnected you, and then there's the business you. One should never insult the other, and one should never contravene with the other. The goal is to have both of our online presence working harmoniously to portray the right image of us for our networking and business opportunities. I guess the way I would sum it up is networking requires you to adult. Finally, there's A. So we talk PDA. A, be appropriate. Ask, don't tell. Right? Provide adequate space and time for response. This isn't a, hey, I'm reaching out. Why don't you get back to me now? Hey, I didn't hear from you. Hey, it's been 2 days and you haven't followed up. That's uncool. It's not professional. And it certainly isn't going to strengthen your network. It's just going to tick people off. Give time before you follow up. But ensure you follow up. And you might want to follow up through a different means. If all you've got is social media, then you're kind of stuck with social media. But if you got a phone, you could text them, or you get an opportunity to send them an email, follow-up might be better through a different platform. Hey, I reached out to you on LinkedIn, kind of sent you a message, haven't heard back. Just thought I'd send you the email as well to let you know I was reaching out, hoping you have some time to connect. Something to that effect, right? So this way you're coming in multiple streams, but you're keeping it professional both ways. Just remember, once and done never works, but neither will hounding them. Be appropriate. If you get it wrong, learn. Be appropriate the next time. We have an opportunity to learn when we make an error, but they're only mistakes if we learn from them. Otherwise, we're screwing up. Finally, remember, nothing in life comes without a little bit of effort. So you need to invest in networking for it to benefit you. You can't just dip your toe in and expect rewards. It can sometimes be like the lottery, though. Sometimes you can invest in networking for years and get no winnings. Other times, you can invest in that first networking connection, and boom, you're a millionaire. So you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, and all the while, you have to be professional. It's very important, all right? But remember, now you have a short list of tools that are available to you. You have anchor relationships, you have networking sites, you got your alumni, you got the opportunity of school, you have organizations, both local and national, and you got social media, as long as you remember your PDA. If you focus on these, your networking will increase substantially. And when it does, you'll be keeping your business casual. That's it for this week, everybody. Hopefully you liked the show. If you did, please click the thumbs up. If you didn't, why don't you put a comment below and let me know what I can do a little bit better or what more I can share with you. I'm always open to ideas, so feel free to ask for certain topics. I'm happy to share as well. Otherwise, stay focused. Focus on your business, but keep it casual. See you next time.